A Human, our story number 6, Hitching a Lift.
You okay, Bob? Your leg doesn't look too good.
No, Ezekiel, it's not. The pain is becoming unbearable.
Here, take these pills. One blue, one red. That will counteract the pain, make you feel above it all for this evening.
A Human accepted the pills and swallowed them without a second thought. Right now, anything that would take away the sharp pain in its leg was good. It felt its senses dull down, and then the second pill lifted them back up again, and everything became clear and concise. Oh, good, Ezekiel, thank you.
They are the bloomin' best, Bob. I would never normally give them out, but tonight, Bob, we need each other more than ever, I can see. Come on, we'll soon be headed towards Works traffic.
The two walked along the road. The surrounding buildings were becoming slightly less dilapidated as they travelled, and it wasn't long before heavy engines could be heard trundling along the road ahead.
Let's see if we can hitch a lift. Sometimes the workers don't mind. Just don't mention what's in our backpacks,
he said, lifting his hat from his head and brushing the dust and dirt off of it. Okay, Ezekiel, I'm in your debt. After those wonderful pills. Lead on, the Human said happily. The dead road they were travelling along led them through the mist and to a much busier one. Giant dump trucks trundled up and down it, their headlights doing their best to pierce the grey.
Right, I expect it will only be another bug who will pick us up, of course. So stand somewhere behind me, and remember, if they ask what's in the packs, whatever you do, under any circumstances, don't tell them that there's dynamite in there, okay?
Okay, Ezekiel. The two hurried along the roadside. Ezekiel took off his freshly dusted hat and started waving it at the trucks as they approached. 5 of them passed by, one of them aggressively blasting its horn, before a 6th pulled up. The window wound down, and a face that was more insect than man leant out of it. You two want a lift? What's your story? I don't like to see a bug in trouble, the driver said.
Thank you, friend. We are trying to get further down. Got to get back to work. Our vehicle broke, so we've had to go for it on foot. We're already going to miss our clock-in time. You know what that means?
Yes, I do. I've just tipped a load, so I'm heading back down now. Can you vouch for the man? Not going to try and have me over, are you? I don't trust men.
From one bug to another. Do you really think I'd be travelling with him if he was a backstabber like most of them are? We won't be any trouble to you. We just want to get back to work, that's all.
All right. Come on. Hold on there a minute. I'll push the button that opens the door. Ezekiel and a Human removed their packs from their backs, made their way around the truck to the passenger door and climbed in. The truck cab was very humid and filled with small fauna and insects. The driver wore a red checkered shirt, and his long head and arms looked very much like a stick. The engine revved up, and the truck set off down the road. Course, some grey out today, eh? Still much the same as every day or night down here, eh? Remarked the driver as they hurtled along the road.
Indeed. Tell me, how close to the reservoir are you travelling today, friend?
Asked Ezekiel. Near enough for my liking. Wait, you don't work down there, do you?
Well, near enough for our liking. We've got a shift there tonight, haven't we, Bob?
Explained Ezekiel. Yes, that's right, Ezekiel, replied a Human. Fair enough. Rather you than me. I could probably drop you off a few miles away near the gravel pits. That's as close as I'm going, or want to go, for that matter. So, I'm afraid you will have to make your own way from there.
Not a problem, my friend. We are just glad of the ride, aren't we, Bob?
Yep, that's right, Ezekiel. Do you mind if I open the window a little? Asked a Human. It was sweating most uncomfortably in the humidity of the cab. No, this is a bug truck. My rules. I don't want to let all my little friends out into the grey. It's lonely enough, this job. I thought you said he wouldn't be any trouble, the driver said, turning to Ezekiel.
Oh no, he'll be fine, won't you, Bob? We are in a bug truck, so don't ask such silly questions again, eh, Bob?
A human nodded and turned to look through the restrictive pane of its passenger window. It caught its own reflection, and the bob part of its psyche made its face grimace in resentment against the bugs and humidity. The truck sped along, before dropping down into a long tunnel lit with red light. Down we go. Another hour or so and I can drop you off. So, what's so important that needs working on near the reservoir? Most folks avoid it like the plague, especially when the occasional leak occurs. I hope you don't mind me saying, but you're either extremely brave or extremely stupid taking on that job.
Oh, I wish I could tell you, friend, but we are under strict confidentiality. Well, apart from I can tell you that we are in the brave category, not the stupid. I think so, anyway. Hey, Bob? No, we are signed to secrecy, and we have to get clocked in for our shift there. That's all I can say.
Of course. Sorry, friend. I didn't mean anything by it. It's just unusual, that's all.
Oh, no, I understand. To the untrained eye, without a ride, we do look pretty suspect, I know. So we can't thank you enough for the lift, friend. We really appreciate it, don't we, Bob?
Said Ezekiel, but a human was too uncomfortable to speak. The humidity and the pills were beginning to play havoc with its senses. It could, however, rather worryingly, feel Bob rising up inside it, about to shout out, "Stop, or I will blow us to kingdom come!" But it successfully repressed the urges for the remainder of the journey. The tunnel opened up again out into thicker, greyer mist, and after about half an hour or so, although to Bob it felt like an eternity, the driver pulled over and let them out. A human breathed in the smoky mist. It was bitter and unpleasant, but infinitely preferable to the humidity and insects it had had to endure inside the cab. Its entire body was sodden with sweat. "Thank you once again, friend," said Ezekiel as he climbed down from the cab. "My pleasure. Us bugs look out for each other down here, for no one else will," said the driver. "I couldn't agree more. Oh, our packs," said Ezekiel, realising they were still in the cab. "Don't worry, friend, I'll get them for you," said the driver, reaching over from his seat. "Oh no, you couldn't possibly," said Ezekiel, springing back up into the cab and grabbing them. "This man I travel with, eh? He'd forget his balls if they weren't in a bag," said Ezekiel, hastily trying to induce some levity to the situation. "Okay then," said the driver, a little suspiciously at Ezekiel's sudden movements. "Well, best of luck getting to your shift," and he hastily shut the door and drove off. "Phew! That was a bit close, wasn't it, Bob? I mean the small talk, eh?" said Ezekiel with the backpacks of dynamite. But a human was now shivering with cold and looked as white as a sheet. "Oh, I don't feel good, Ezekiel," it said. Then it vomited onto the dust and dirt of the roadside. "Oh, Bobby Bob, you'll be all right in a moment, and we better not be too late. The twins will be waiting for us at the gates, and you know how grumpy they can be. Here, get your pack on and start walking. You'll soon come back to life with some smoky mist in your lungs." A human begrudgingly took the pack from Ezekiel. It did feel a bit better now it had thrown up, but the Bob inside it was resentful and angry, really angry, and it was getting harder and harder to control him. The two walked away from the road towards the scree of gravel mounds and mining waste.